Hello, it's time to follow up and follow through. Quick video for you that's much more tactical than maybe we've been talking about. Sometimes we talk about higher level things or inner things, and this one is much more hands-on and tactical. So we're going to break it up into two parts, follow up and follow through. So the first one is follow through. So I want to ask you, have you ever had an interaction with someone? Could be a family member, in a relationship, a friend, it could be a business acquaintance, where they said they were going to do something and then they didn't make it happen. They didn't follow through. And how did that make you feel? And what were the judgments that you made about their intentions, about who they are, their character, that caused you to have a certain perception of them overall? Now, have you ever been in a situation where you made a promise and then you were not able to follow through? And maybe you had the best of intentions and you know in your heart that you're going to follow through and you're going to do it, but maybe you didn't do it within the time that you said that you were going to. Have you ever had that happen? I just want you to be aware of how the perceptions are, whether they're real or not. Whether you had something come up for you that was really super important and it was unavoidable and you have a great excuse, the perceptions are not maybe what you would want them to be, right? Because people don't always take those things into consideration, because you judge people based upon their actions and their words, not based upon their intentions, because we never really can know or understand another person's intentions. So when you are moving forward and making some new habits and patterns with some of the things that we've been talking about, I really want you to think about the importance of follow through from two areas. One is from this area of perception of others and character, and the other one is how you feel about yourself. Every time you make a promise and you follow through, that feeds the inner bank of self-confidence, right? And you feel really good about you and who you are and what you do. And it creates a new habit where you know that you're going to be committed to doing the right things and making things happen. And every time you do that, every time you create that consistency in your patterns, you're going to take yourself to the next level, because this is really all about yourself and your business growth, right? And once you grow and extend yourself, then the business will follow. So that's the follow through part. I want you to honor yourself and your relationships by following through. And if you can't, if you just don't think that you can do something, learn the word no. It's better to say no, I cannot do this, than to say you're going to do something because you don't want somebody to feel badly and then not follow through. The other part is the follow up. Now, follow up is key, and it's another habit. It's another pattern change. Now, I have created for myself a system that I'm going to share with you. You're going to create your own system, whatever it is for you. But I just want to share with you how I do follow-up, and one example of that. I commit to my follow-up. So I'll just take when I do a speaking engagement, for instance. So I can speak to a couple hundred people. And if I give out evaluations on my evaluation forms, I give them the opportunity to let me know what they liked, what they would like to see differently, and then I ask them if they want more information about additional keynotes or about coaching or anything else that I do. And if they check that off, and then I collect these evaluations and I give away stuff. So I get a really good return on these evals. And then what I do is I take them, and if these people have checked off that they are interested in keynotes or coaching, I make sure to do a couple of things. Within 24 hours, I commit to myself to send them an email with some type of resource that I have promised in my presentation. I'll, during the presentation, say, hey, if you fill out the evaluation, I'm going to send you a copy of the PowerPoint and a special bonus document, a resource. And it's one of the reasons why they do it. So I honor that. And within 24 hours, I always send that follow-up. Now, if they have also said, that they do want additional information. Maybe they have a company that has a sales meeting coming up and they're looking for a keynote. Within 48 hours, I pick up the phone and I call that person. Now I get a really good return. So let's say I have a group of 200 people. And let's say I have, 75% of them will fill it out, and maybe, another 30% of those will actually ask me for additional information. They want more information on coaching or keynote presentations. That's quite a few people to follow up with, but I've already made a commitment in my head, and it's a pattern, it's a habit that I do. So within 24 hours, I send them the email, and within 48 hours, I pick up the phone and I make a call. I don't always get through to them. Sometimes it's a voicemail, and then I have to put it in my calendar to follow up again in some capacity. Usually it's with another email giving them something else, because it's all about value. It's all about what you can offer them. And sometimes I have to follow up with another call if they seemed really interested, or they're like, yeah, I have a keynote presentation I need a speaker for in 3 months. I make sure to call them right away. But after that 48-hour phone call, then I decide what I want to go with next. What's the next step? But always 24 hours for the email, always 48 hours for the phone call. And let me tell you, it is not always easy. Sometimes the phone gets heavy. But every time I do it, sometimes I'll put on music, I'll dance around first, I'll increase my energy, and I'll just say, okay, well, I'm going to make these calls for the next 20 minutes. And what happens is I always get a positive response. So when I call, if I don't get a voicemail, if I get an actual person, 9 times out of 10, their response is, oh, wow, I never have a speaker call me. That's awesome. Really nice to hear from you. Yeah, I really liked your presentation. Because here's the thing, I've already qualified them. They've already asked me, they've already given me a 5 out of 5 rating, and they've asked me for more information. Of course they're going to be happy to hear from me, right? So I've made it an easy paved path. So it's kind of painless, but still sometimes the phone gets heavy. So if that happens for you, make sure to commit to some type of action. You're going to have a follow-up process, a system in place that you do every single time you go to a networking event. Every time you go to a networking event, on the back of the business card, you write something that they told you, something that they might be interested in. And then within 24 hours, you send an email and say, hey, great to see you at that networking event. I remembered that you had an interest in this magazine. I saw an article in there I thought you might like. I've attached it for you. Giving value, right? So please make sure to create a system for your follow-up, and then follow it. Take action. And if you need to energize yourself to make it happen and get yourself in the flow, do so. Music is really powerful. Go for a run first, a walk, whatever it might be. Do something to change your state, create energy in your body, and then follow up. And remember, your character comes down to your follow-through. If you have any questions on either one of these, please let me know. Thanks. Good luck. Have fun. Create the system. Make it happen. Get fired up.